DrMC bot's going to count us down at 3, 2, 1 in pills, and these two will be off quite shortly.
And here we go, folks. These two players, the second time facing each other, they faced off in April in round one. Dars, as the 13 seed, upset Flindo, who was rocking the 4 seed there, 2-1. So Flindo hoping to get revenge here. As we get started, it's a pretty nice board for both players. They're playing even Steven. It's a little bit more double friendly on the side of Dars, and it looks like Swang a bit of a split board already, but that looks like that was just by board design.
Yeah, he had his eighth column with a huge chasm right at that side there. He's placing a lot of trash over there. There's no pills otherwise to set forth. But both these players are making short work of it, having some short stacks being played, some easy set of combos, and with these level block of 8 to 11, we're going to see some faster times, and we would see some faster clear rates than we would with the 6 through 9 block.
And that's because there are more viruses, so there's less space for things to drop. This allows for much more efficient play by both of our players. Flindo's got a Spire in column 6, and it's yellow covered, so really the only plays he has are the yellows vertically and the red in row 2 horizontally. Meanwhile, Dars has a pretty nice board here, just looking for a handful of yellows and a bunch of blues, but he's got these blues pretty much pre-made, ready to go. A double blue would help column 5 or 6, and then any sort of blue going to help column 2 and 7, and an underclear there preventing drop time. Dars out first at 127.
And Flindo had a lot of contingencies going in. He was attacking the board from all directions, underneath to the side, as vertical as well, really making short work of this. Looks like he is electing to, prioritizes that and drops out at a 143. Looking at the next pillbox, very important to make sure that he didn't misplay that.
Yeah, especially during an endgame situation, you never know if that next pill, you might be praying for it. I know that's always the case when you just want to combo out and look fancy, but he saw the double yellow, saw that was the easier play, and cleared everything out. Very well done here. As we cross the 2-minute threshold, it is a 4 virus advantage here for Dars. And Dar's already starting to chip away. He's got access to things in the lower left-hand corner as he opened up a well in 4. But Swang, the problem I'm seeing on Dar's side is he's going to need a lot of blue help to move forward.
And as you're saying that, Flindo needed a lot of red, so these players have a similar yet different board situation going on. Meanwhile, it looks like a lot of folks are getting it set up where Dar's taking that sweet T down, dropping it with the yellow at the very bottom of his board there.
And leaving those 2 viruses overhanging those 2 blues in 7 and 8, that could be troublesome. However, Dars could elect, although at the cost of time, to maybe set things up. No, he's going to get a clear and setting up for another combo. So now just wiping those blues right off the board. Flindo is struggling here, not getting a lot of favorable RNG, Swang.
Yeah, it's still the tale of just, the red was just glaring in his face, and unfortunately there's just a lot of pills that just weren't not red to advance that board there. But looks like his board is decently cleaned up with what is happening with that earlier situation. Drops everything down and is pretty much free and clear to continue with the rest of his board there, JB.
Yeah, and there was a nice clearing of garbage there, just a big chunk of it gone off of Flindo's board. However, Dars is already out at a 327, a great pace. Is it a watch of a pace that we saw with that 531 earlier? No, but still a great pace here for Dars. Taking a look here, Dars's PB here on this block, 6 minutes, 54 seconds. So he's well on his way.
Yeah, players are looking for around a low 7, around the 8-minute mark to get out of this 8 to 11 block. And as you said earlier, Dars is really making short work and is well on his way to a low 7 with the way that he's been playing this year. Has everything set up, drops it all down. Again, just vertically clearing. And that's how the board is just suggesting to him, is to clear down, vertically down, and making it so that way he can continue on with this level 10 here.
And Flindo, I noticed when he gets garbage, he likes to just break it off in chunks and clear large swaths of the board here. And he is seeking out a yellow, blue, or yellow red. Doesn't look like he's going to get it, but he is going to get at least something here. And a drop double. So had it either way. That's smart planning, making sure you have options open in those sorts of situations.
Yeah, he didn't need any blues and created it to manufacture that drop combo down. It was given the best situation that he was had here. Flindo taking that horizontal yellow to advance the board and is sprinting towards Dars, as it's about a 20 virus game between these two.
Yeah, and I don't know if Flindo watches how his opponent is going, but you would think just having a bit of a struggle, you would want to play a little bit more aggressively. It really is all dependent on RNG. A good clear there over on Flindo's side, dropping everything down, but he's got a barricade of a full row of viruses on row 6, or
Yeah,
excuse me,
and
7.
yeah, and everything's kind of congealed at the almost like the second third quadrant of his board there. Everything's all clustered into it. So not a whole lot of space at the bottom with it. Dar's out at a 523, and Flindo's looking like he's going to drop everything down with that and has everything mostly available for him to continue on here.
Dars made a nice little double blue clear up top of his board, really opening up a big bubble. Didn't really need to work through it as he was clearing the right side of the board following, but now is set up nicely, gets a nice little combo. Blue heavy top line as we go in here, 6 minutes for these players. Not a lot of red access for Dars. Meanwhile, Flindo looking to get that under clear. He's going to need a couple of more reds. And he's going to have to go into 11 hot swung.
Yeah, and as you said that you mentioned earlier that Dars didn't really have access to red. He now does have access, but earlier Flindo out of 612, he didn't have access to red and was using some strategic garbage to cascade his non-useful reds into something that would minimize the drop time. So Dars working very efficiently, still maintaining a very clean top line, takes that blue and he's down to his final 14 here, JB.
Yeah, and it's a fun situation when you have that one straggler up top. You can sometimes you want to save it just for last to eliminate drop time, but if you get that double, you might as well take the free clear, open up boards, and reduce even just a little bit of time from piece movement.
And it's looking like Dars is remaining with his last bit of viruses. Just needs reds and yellows here. Had an opportunity to set up the reds down, dropped it down to open up, which is what he did since his yellow was not quite accessible. Meanwhile, looks like Flindo's setting up this. Hopefully, Del Blue comes for he can drop everything down and make everything just cascade. Elects not to clear it, but is just leading some blues to get rid of that top line there, JB.
Yeah, and he's setting up now for this big hero combo,
Wow.
takes out just the center of his board and opens up a lot of stuff on those bottom 4 rows. That's a really smart play, and it just a great combo in transition. It's so hard to dedicate yourself to one combo and then suddenly a couple of piece sequences come up as Dars finishes at a 728. But to finish my point, you sometimes, especially as a newer player, you build up a combo and you just want to dedicate yourself to it. But sometimes the piece sequence comes up where you can see an easy and quick change. It's such a hard thing to notice as you're starting out, but the more you play, the more you kind of get a feel for what else is possible on the board.
Yeah, he had an out. He realized that double blue and doubles are really just a really difficult pill for him to come. Whether it's a double blue, double yellow, or a double red. The way that this RNG works with NES Dr. Mario is those are the least frequent pills that we'll see. And so Flindo had a plan where he needed that double blue. Realized, wait, I don't think this is going to happen during this. Manufactured something else and was electing to clear it up in advance of that way. So smart flexibility on Flindo's part as we get into game 2 between these two.
And to add to your point, it's a 1 in 9 that you'll get a double. As red blue and blue red are, as far as the game's RNG goes, those are 2 separate pieces. So that's why sometimes you'll see a blitz of yellow red and things like that, because it just kind of shifts back and forth. Anyways, we've got a ready and we've got a let's a go, which will count as a ready.
And the official ready. Readies are in.
And
we
3,
get a 3,
2, 1.
1 pills. Let's do
pills.
this.
Good boards for both players. Super double heavy board here for Flindo. If he can open up those yellows in column 2 and 3, he can really start going to town on this board. And he's going to get that L clear right in the middle of the board. And now is starting to access those doubles. And those vertical doubles, such a strong play to have in your pocket.
As you're saying that Dars had a really flat top portion of his board, it's going to be interesting because he's got a lot of gaps throughout the bottom half of his board, which is going to have a little bit of drop time unless he decides to clear things up with some strategic placement of the pill halves here. But right now, these two are neck and neck.
And some double reds coming up, and there's not really much of a use, but Dars going to just clear a 5 garbage row And with the access to red, it really is going to be a left or a right leaning heavy board, unless Dar starts getting some more yellow. And it looks like he is. He's going to get access to red, trying to keep that balance. And it's all about balancing each color combination. You kind of want to have each one available if possible for virus clears. And then you kind of prioritize garbage clearing over that. 13-2, though, as Flindo is screaming through level 8 Swang. He's going to be out at a minute 15.
Fantastic. Is this an 8 to 11 or a 6 to 9? Because Flindo is roaring for this game 2 here. He's here to play, and it looks like he's ready to fight it over there. Gets everything set up and is making very short work of his level 9 as well, JB.
And yeah, the 0 drop clears he's getting just to start. 0 drop time is the best sort of result from any sort of clear. And just make you able to plan things out a little bit quicker. That blue-red, that yellow-red or yellow-blue, we'll work on shapes tomorrow, is not very helpful, but you see Flindo stacking things over as Dars was out at about a minute 50 going into 9.
Yeah, not too bad for this level block here. You know, we as we said, we're aiming for a low 7 for this level block, and Dars is still well on his way to do that here. Flindo is electing to create a little bit of a bridge underneath that red blue to minimize that drop time, and I think that's smart because if he were to clear up this red blue, which he does now, it would take probably about 2 to 3 seconds. So he definitely cut that drop time right in half there.
And a nice play. Sometimes dropping is a smart play, especially when you just have those deep wells on your extreme columns on 1 and 8. We saw him drop down a couple of red pieces. He's down to 11, but Dars storming back here, and Dars has a lot of flat 0 drop clears. Elects to take a little bit of drop time there, as it looks like he's setting up for a triple, and he's going to get it. He's going to get a drop triple. Excuse me. That was a red pill fragment or a yellow pill fragment, not a red one.
Yeah, and as you say that, Dars is elected to also bring it back here. He's brought the gap down to about 6 viruses between two. A Tuck Lightning Bolt to get back into it, and we're looking through for him to just get reds and yellows for the rest of it here. But meanwhile, Flindo's down to his final 2, just needs 1 more yellow, and it's going to be out at 308.
308. And you're talking about Tuck Lightning Bolts. Tuck playing and just timing that rotation is such a key part of playing this game efficiently, as you can turn into really nice combos or set yourself up for really nice things with any sort of dropping. As we see here, 1 virus to go for Dars, a little bit of garbage clearing. That's going to cost him a couple of seconds. And now a double red to get out at 335. As it stands, it is about a 12 virus gap between these players.
Still neck and neck, and there's still plenty of more. There's still 1 more level after this here. Flindo dropping that horizontal blue may look questionable, but if he gets a couple different viruses, I thought he was going to go with the sweet tea, but perhaps just elected to move it a little bit quicker than what he saw.
I think maybe he was holding out there for a double blue just to overhang and didn't quite get there. He is going to have to work out of that situation, and this might be the opportunity Dars needs here, as he is now down to 31, and he's going to take a quick 1-step combo there, and he has narrowed the lead down to 5 Swang, and with this double red, now it's just a 3 virus advantage for Flindo.
Yeah, Flindo, he didn't have his pill sequencing just quite where he wanted, but he ended up turning what looked to be garbage earlier into complete gold, turning that red drop into a sweet tea drop, and it was beautiful to see it all. But now he's presented a problem with just blues and reds, and any yellow pill is going to be absolutely not helpful at this point.
And drop time and an extremity of yellow and red is currently Dars's issue, as he is trying to start working on this bottom section. It looks like he's going to set himself up for a sweet tea. He will have a little bit more access to that lower area, but Flindo has once again opened up a lead here of about a half a dozen viruses, as it looks like a nice combo there by Flindo puts him down to 1, and he's just north of 5 minutes, and he will get out at 5:11, holding on to his lead going into 11.
And that's a great time going into this level 11 here. I mean, he's definitely getting it there. A yellow cross to open this board up, just exactly to have to advance it there with just the congealed bit of yellow on the right portion of his board. Dars is going to meet him soon at 526, and it's going to come right down to the wire between these two in this game too.
Yeah, the problem with playing that yellow tea so aggressively is it left a lot of problems for Flindo as he started to get a lot of yellow pieces and had nothing on his top line and couldn't really dig for anything. So he's slowed down a little bit. It is 34 now 33 to 39 here as Dar is trying to make a comeback. Dar is very, very good on these later levels and just trying to mount that comeback. He is currently at 36. It is 29 for Flindo. And I would think it's an easier board for Dars, a lot less opportunity for drops. Meanwhile, on Flindo's board, it's a bit flat, but things get scattered toward the bottom.
Yeah, Dars has this ski slope action going on, kind of slanting from the bottom left all the way to the top right there, and is left with just a predominantly red top line here. So he's going to have to make some strategic plays to really chip away with this all red top line for Dars here.
Yeah.
But as you say that, it's down to the down to an 8 virus game.
It is 27 to 17 now, as we are at 6.5 minutes about in this match, and a good triple there by Dars. Dars again just blockaded by red and yellow on that right side. Really can't get anything in that big glob towards the middle right of his screen. So really just trying to have to come up with something here. This is where RNG gets rough, and a nice play there. That's smart. You get the L, and you do open everything up. However, with this sort of just gaping maw on 11, especially that high, it's very, very difficult to tackle.
It was tricky. He had red, red, red in 6, 7, and 8, and that's just a really awkward set of sequencing to try and clear things out. And now he's left with a problem with just all yellows all day. So gets that drop horizontal to open it up and is suddenly looking a lot more free and clear than what I said earlier.
Yeah, it's amazing what a couple of clears will do to your board, as it's now 5-1, but Flindo just needing a blue, and there it is. He's going to be out at a 732. He will take game number 2 and force a decider.
This is what we're talking about, the kickoff round 2 here. Decider 732. A great time by Flindo. Dars is going to be joining him quite soon at a 744. Also not a time to scoff at, and losing by about a few seconds at this level of gameplay is nothing to be ashamed of for sure.
Yeah, these two were neck and neck throughout, and Dars really narrowed the gap down to about 3 viruses partway through 10, but couldn't make it happen here. But he's got a shot to advance here. He would love to see a semifinal.
Most definitely, these two are hungry for that. Dars has yet to come in there, and Flindo is looking like he's trying to advance his way into the into the semifinals and finals as well. So this is going to be an exciting round 2.
I have a Octagon noting in our chat, by the way, that was a PB for Flindo. So applause in the chat for JonDatFlindo. We love seeing PBs, PB strats, baby.
Seems to be the meta to win against your opponent. Nothing wrong with that.
All right, we've got ready. Decider time, folks. It's a nice time of the year for a nice cider. And 3, 2, 1, pills. Who is going to go to the semifinals? Will it be JonDatFlindo or will it be Dars? Two very, very good speed players, and we are underway here. And a very interesting board from Flindo right now. It's just very compressed out of save for 1 and 8.
Yeah, he has that trash column right going on in that 8th column there, and everything's just really compacted in the columns 3 through 7 right there. But just interesting use of everything to get everything there. He doesn't really have it where. No, he's making quick work of it. Hey, excuse me. I apologize. That he's tearing through it.
Hey, welcome to commentary, where you see something and it's gone 3 seconds later, or mid-sentence. Anyways, we have 11 viruses to go for Flindo. He's got things stacked, like pre-planned very nicely. That double blue huge, and he's pretty much free and clear here, Swang.
Yeah, I was a little worried with it, but he's really torched his level 8 here. He's down to just a few different viruses over here. If he drops that yellow down, which he's going to happen, he's going to keep that there. Just needs yellows to get out, and he's well on his way to level 9. Another fast time from him, out at a 117.
117, phenomenally quick, as Flindo looking to upset here and go to a semifinal and get more points. Points are so important here, as this is our final regular season bracket. 10 viruses to go here for Dars. Very convenient double red. That'll open up everything for the most part. Just The only thing not able to access right now is that red in column 8. However, I say that, and it looks like we have a clear there. And it looks like Dars was hesitating. He saw the double yellow, and I think he was thinking too much about that.
Yeah, the yellow was kind of the paying point where he was unable to really that was the biggest thing that he needed to try and eliminate. And I think he wanted to create the shape to make it a little bit more efficient. I think at this point, um, that hesitation wasn't necessarily a bad play. It's just maximizing his efforts in the event that yellows weren't coming up there. But Dar's out of 208 and making work of this level 9 here, JB.
Yeah, and Flindo is just again playing super aggressive here, but super efficient. Seeing only two pieces of pill garbage right now, and both of those not really garbage; they are useful. So, and Flindo going to set up on the left side. That's the right play. Maybe setting up here for a double just to feel a little fancy going into 10, and that's exactly what's going to happen. A 247 sub 3 halfway through this run.
He prioritized those pills very nicely, absolutely just making short work of that. Yeah, when presented with that bottom layer, again, as we're talking about the pill sequencing and the pills that come up, Flindo may not have had the opportunity to vertically clear. And so I think it was very smart of him to get everything in that way, the double horizontal, to minimize the amount of pills that he actually needed to progress there.
Absolutely. And Dar's now facing an almost all blue end game here. 11 viruses to go, and 8 of them are blue, and not getting much help in the way of blue. The smart play is to get that horizontal clear and just start thinking about minimizing drop time. We're seeing it brilliantly here from the 3 seed Dars. He's got 5 to go here, but Swang looking at Flindo's 10. He's already 19 to go. Really, the only problem is 7 and 8.
Yeah, Flindo is putting together these fantastic shapes. He had a sweet tea yellow that happened here. He was just putting everything down and just playing a very compact style to get everything forward there. But as you said, yeah, his eighth column is looking like a traffic light. It's going to be taking some time for him to clear that up as quickly as he can.
Yeah, and you kind of have to take a two-pronged approach to see what you can do to get things off the board. With that blue stuck in 8, that blue pill fragment stuck in 8, it's likely just going to be forcing down clears here, and that is the name of the game. Even with that horizontal clear, you're dependent on a double blue to open up those yellows on the bottom for a shot at a double. But Flindo playing this smartly, that double red's going to be huge for him as well. And it looks like he is going to just try to clear that vertically so he can do this drill drop to combo out at a 438, almost half a level here. Flindo trying to punch his ticket to the semis.
Yeah, Flindo looks like he's running away with this game here, and he's just making some smart plays, not rushing with his plays. At that end game, he had it where he didn't want to drop the red early in case it blocked off that blue, which prevented him from cleaning up the bottom part. So he did a very smart job to make sure that there was garbage there that didn't impact his plans.
Right, and a good end game strat is essential because if you don't have some sort of plan, depending on RNG, it can slow you down. It's almost like putting in golf. It's where really most of your critical plays come into effect.
Yeah, most definitely. Dars is going to drop this blue red down, seeing it there, and again having it where he needed to get that opened up with the red and blue, dropped it down, made it very, and this is a very short, very clean game for Dars right now. Going to be out and joining Flindo with a 542, but JB, he is really behind the 8 ball.
He is. He's going to have to hope for some disastrous RNG or some mental mistakes here by Flindo. But as you see here, Flindo playing a very clean board, 14 viruses to go. And that got lucky with that RNG. That double red came in right after he made that play. So made planning that right side out a little bit easier. We're almost at single digit territory here for Flindo, and we will be with 6:11 on the clock and a horizontal clear, so almost out of reds. Meanwhile, Dar's facing an almost all blue top line. It's all blue on that left side as he gets a drill clear. He's at 29, but I believe Swung that this one is out of reach.
Yeah, most definitely. And Flindo is having a fantastic time. I mean, look, he's not even finished. He just has two more viruses with 6:34 on the clock there. Drops it down, just needs two reds out, and he's going to be hitting his first sub 7 of the season, JB.
Yeah, he had a PB before, and he'll do it again at a 6:44. And look at that pop! He is
Wow!
hype. An amazing
6:44.
run. An amazing
Fantastic.
run by JonDatFlindo. And I'm just taking a quick look here at that 6:44. And that is good for tie for 12th on the board. Don Venier and Dimwit both doing that 6:44 as well. So welcome to the sub 7 club, Flindo, as you are now on the hot time leaderboard for 8 to 11. And big statement there as you clinch the win. And off to the semifinals you go. And we will see you tomorrow. Well done. But commiserations to Dars. Dars had a very strong start in both this game and the first game, and nearly put that comeback in the books, but it wasn't to be, as it is 3 viruses to go. He's running this out, the double red and a 7:41, which normally a pretty competitive time in its own right, but a 6:44 is very, very good, Swang.
Get a PB strats. It seems to be the theme of tonight's matches here. And Flindo putting that to use there. But yeah, 6:44, very impressive work. GG's to both players. And this was absolutely wanted to see starting off that round 2 for tonight here, JB.